Okay, before we begin, what's your name?
Sidra.
Hmm?
Sidra.
Shidra.
Sidra.
How do you spell it? Oh, J. I feel like D, that's why. Okay. All right. So my name is Coach Mo. Okay. Yeah lah. So which school are you from? Madrasah Ishad. Okay, okay. So basically yesterday was first day of school lah. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So because you'll be doing your PSLE this year, right? Okay. So we'll be basically try to revise as much topics as possible, and then maybe like before or after or like June holiday that time, okay, we'll begin with papers revision itself lah. Okay, so basically to help you prepare for your prelims and eventually your PSLE itself. Okay, so today I won't ask you yet what goals do you have for your PSLE. Okay, basically I give you like 1 week to think about it lah. If you haven't so, but if you have really good, I will ask you next week. Okay, like what grades do you have in mind? Which school do you want to go to next year? Okay, I'm guessing you are planning to continue the madrasah route or okay, good lah. Okay, so but in a way also there's a few choices that you can go right now. I think there's more choices for secondary compared to primary, right? Secondary there's more, is it? Primary more. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, yeah, the other way around. Because I have a friend from Irshad. So Irshad is the one beside Muhajirin, right? He was from Irshad. Then he was the last batch where they closed the secondary school. Yeah, so like he graduated, he went to poly. Then after that, the following year or something like that, they closed down the secondary. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, next week we'll talk about that. Okay, so for basically there are a few things that was covered in this test. Okay, so the main thing was algebra. Okay, but probably in school I think like the first few topics you'll be also doing algebra lah. Okay, but later I will uh, give more info about this. Okay, like how algebra is being used and all that. Actually, algebra is not new. Okay, believe it or not, you have did something similar. Okay, example like all this while, right? You do 10 minus something equals to 7. How do you find this something? 10 plus 7. No, are you sure? 10 minus something, no? Not 10 plus something. 10 take away what becomes 7? 3, correct. In a way, you got 10 minus 7 equals to 3, right? So actually, algebra is something related to this. Okay, but yeah lah. Later I'll explain more on where all those alphabets comes in. Okay. Other than that, also we have done another thing called volumes. Okay, let me backtrack a bit. Angles. Okay, angles. So angles. Yeah, let me put a new page here. Okay, angles. Okay, so if we have time, probably somewhere this month or next month, we can, if we have some free time, we can go back a bit to angles. Okay, so angles basically like your properties of angles, like angles on a straight line. What's the total angle on a straight line? Correct. Okay, and then like uh, vertically opposite angle. What is vertically opposite angle? Example like this and this. What are they? We got two straight line cutting across each other. Then this angle here, this angle and this angle, they are same or not same? Same, correct. Okay, just looking for that word. I cannot a number. So example like this is example 60, this is also 60. Okay. And then triangle. What is the sum of angles in a triangle? Correct. And then if this is equal to this, what is this called? No, two only. Start letter I. I what? I source isosceles. Okay, then if let's say I say that one and that one equal already, right? Like they say A, B, C. Let's say they say AB equals to AC. Then you know it's isosceles. And then if this is 50 degree, how do I find this one here? Correct. Then if all three sides are the same, like you mentioned just now, it's called equilateral. Okay, equilateral, what is the angle on one side? 60 degree. Okay, then one more thing. Now we go to four-sided figures. Okay, let's say now I have this. Okay, now let's say I got this parallel to this parallel to this. What is this called? Start with letter P. This is like the last few topic I remember calling in primary 5. The second last topic, I think. P. Okay. These two lines are what are they called? This and this line, they are? Huh? No, perpendicular is the 90 parallel. So it's the shape. Correct. Parallelogram. Okay, now, what's the properties of angles do you have in a parallelogram? This one and this one, what are they? Opposite are equal, correct. So this is A, this is A. Then now, let's say I got the other side, this is called B. A plus B equals to? Correct, very good. Then got one more. Hmm, okay, to make them equal. Okay. Let's say this equals to this equals to this equals to this. What is this kind of shape called? Also the same. Also, this is parallel to this. This one parallel to this. Why is this? It's like your parallelogram, but equal sides. Start with R. Rhombus. Okay, basically what you need to remember on this, right? Sometimes the question may just tell you, oh, ABCD is a rhombus. Then you must know what's special about a rhombus compared to your normal parallelogram. Okay, because why? Now, if I have this, right? If I were to join the diagonals, okay, What do you get here, here, here? What do you get here? What kind of triangle is that? The one highlighted there. It's a triangle. Correct. Isosceles lah. Okay. Uh, okay. Then last four-sided figure. Let's say I got this parallel to this, but this one not parallel to this one. So what shape is it? Correct. So trapezium only got that one property, which is the angle between the parallel sides add up to 180. That's the only one. Okay, while your parallelogram and rhombus got the opposite side is full that one. Okay. That's about it that we actually went through. Okay, but I will pass you the practice question probably next week. Okay, today we focus on volumes first. After this, we'll do because actually volumes we haven't actually totally finished yet. Okay, so we still got some questions to practice. We'll do that after I go through the test. Okay, then the what's it called? Angles next week. Okay, then next week also we start on a new topic. Okay. Okay. Uh, what do you get for math in P5? AL3. Okay, actually quite good already. As in, there's still two more there lah that you can bring up. Okay, which is possible because it's like if you see the range and all that, right? In a way, it's easier to jump up now compared to like someone who have been in like those wider range lah. Example like your AL6, AL5 and all that. Okay, but AL3 easier to jump up. So there's a good chance that you can actually aim for AL1. Okay, so push yourself for that. Okay, why? Because in a way, if you subjects that you can save the points, right? You save it lah. Okay, so because eventually lesser points means you can secure yourself better standing when going into your secondary schools and all that. Because they always go from bottoms up, correct? So they take the lowest points in first. So you can give yourself a good chance there. Okay. 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 So number one is one of the algebra question, right? So I'll go through that in a while. You go to number two first. They say which angle cannot be found. Okay. So which one do you think? A. Okay, actually A, why A cannot be found? Okay, but why A cannot be found? What's missing there? Correct. Okay, because actually this one there's only one pair. And then you can only find this, correct? But if you have it in two pair, if this is parallel to this, then you found this, then this will be equal to this. Something like that. Or you can also, once it's parallel, then also you can 180 minus 1 to 2 also. Okay? Okay. Yeah, let me open up the document here also. Okay. So the rest, they are between parallel lines. Okay, but what about D? How do you find D? Divide by 2, correct. Okay. So this is the one just I mentioned about rhombus. Rhombus, when you cut into 2, you get an isosceles triangle. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Now, question 3. How do you do this? What is the least number of cubes you can form a cuboid? 19. How do you get 19? You what? You counted. Okay, actually there's another way to do which is safer than counting. Because sometimes when you count, you might miss one or two. Then what if sometimes, right, they purposely want to trick you, they purposely put some numbers that are very close to if you were to miscount. Okay? So the safest way to do this is you actually try to form the cuboid first. Okay? So because you want least, right? In a way, you are forming the smallest cuboid possible. And here we are also assuming that we are not removing anything from here. Okay? So how do I form? I basically find the length, breadth, and height of the cuboid that I want first. So the length here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The breadth will be 2. The height will be 3. Correct. So 5 times 2 times 3, we get 30. And then here there are, then this one need to count lah, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 30 minus 11 equals to 19. Okay? Okay, what if instead of cuboid, they say they want a cube? Okay? So if they want a cube, right? Basically, what's the difference between a cube and a cuboid? Correct. So we pick the one that is the largest here, which is 5. Okay? Because if I form a cube that is 2 cm or 3 cm, right? That means I will have to take out these two cubes here. Understood? So I must form 5 by 5 by 5. I'll get 125, then 125 minus 11. Okay? That is if they want a cube lah. Okay? Alright. Question 4. We'll go through in a while also. Okay, now question 5. Basically, we go through all those that are volumes and angles first. Okay? Okay, question 5. What is the fraction that you got? Huh? 1 over 1/3. 1/3 is if they are still comparing the length, but now they are comparing the volume. Imagine this is 1 cm, this is 3 cm. So what will the volume of cube be? What is the volume of B? 3 times 3 times? What do you get? 3 times 3 times 3? 27. A? Which is 1 cm cube, cm cube. So the fraction will be 1 over 27 because they want volume. Okay? Answer is 4. Yeah. Okay, so for this question, did you get 122 degree? Okay, very good. So if you get 23, 21, still okay lah. Usually plus minus 1. Okay, now B. ABCD is a square. BEFG is a rectangle. CBG equals to 62 degree. Find DBE. So this is another one where what information they give you is something that you have to kind of note down. Okay, what do I mean by that, right? You see, this is a square. What is special about a square? 90 degree, one thing. The other thing is? What else? The main thing, one. 90 degree. You mentioned 90 degree. You mentioned opposite side are the same. What's the main thing, one? You are giving me like all the recent one. The first thing that you learn about square in, I think, primary 2. What about the sides? Correct. Okay, so opposite and all this in a way is more applied for rhombus lah. Okay, but for square, must remember about the sides are equal. That means this equal to this, equals to this, equals to this. Okay, then after the other one, they say BEFG is a rectangle. So that means this is 90, 90, 90, 90. They give you the 62 degree there. Find DBE. Okay. Okay. So find DBE is basically here to here only. What do you do for this question?
Find GBC. I directly minus 90 because we consider days. Then for the rectangle left side 90 degree, so 15 minus 20.
Correct. Okay, so you have in 45 here, right? So 360 minus 45 minus 90. Okay, so oh yeah, one more thing. 360 minus 45 minus 90 minus which one did I miss? 62, correct. Okay, equals to what do you get? Correct. Okay, you can also just plus first then subtract. Okay, I mean like 45 plus 90 plus 62. Then you subtract from 360. Okay, question 7. The figure below shows a square base cuboid filled with 1620 cm cube of water. What is the length of the square base? Okay, what do you get for this question? Okay, square base, right? What do they mean by that square base? Correct. Okay, that means the length here and the breadth here is equal. How do I find the area of the square at the bottom? Given the volume is 1620, the height is 20. Correct. 1620 divided by 20 equals to 81 cm square. So this 81 cm square, the area of this bottom here. What times what is 81? Because they are supposed to be same number, right? 9 times 9, correct. Okay, or in a way, do you remember what is a square root? Did you see a square root before in school? No, okay. So a square root, okay, is in a way the operation to reverse squaring a number. Okay, like when you do same number times same number, you are squaring the number lah. Okay, like 4 times 4 is 16. So when you square root at 16, you will get 4. Okay. On your calculator, right? Do you bring a calculator today? Okay. On your calculator, do you see this button here? So that is the square root button. So if you press that and then press 81, then you press equal. Okay, see? Get? Later there is another question where you have to do slightly different thing, but something like this also. Okay? So 9 cm. Okay? Okay, now we go to question 9. Question 9. Okay, come. You give me the volume of beaker 1. 1000? 1200. This one is yes, correct. This one they want it in liters. So you give me in liters also. 1.2 liters. Can. Second one? 4.8. 4.8 or 0.48? Because because in ml you divide by 1000, right? You shift 3 times become 0.48. Then this one you already fill to the brim, so it's just 1 liter. Okay, so when we plus all this together, plus equals to 2.68. Okay. All right, before we go there, let me introduce a bit on algebra first. Okay. So algebra. Okay, so in I think like P3 onwards, when you start learning about comparison model, right? Then you draw, when they say got thrice as many and all that, you draw boxes, right, for the models. And then you count them as units, remember? Basically, that is algebra also. Understood? It's just that you are restricted to having a single equal portion. Understood? Okay. Anything more is in comparison to that single box. Like Ali and Bala. Ali got $10 more than Bala. So Bala is your 1 unit. Ali is just 10 more than that 1 unit. Correct. Okay, so that 1 unit there, we call it 1 unit to represent the amount that is equal there. Lah. Then Bala is just 1 unit plus 10. Remember? Okay. So algebra, in a way, we break that barrier of calling it units, and we can represent with any alphabets we want. Okay? Hold on. Okay, actually, before we go to algebra, usually we have a break in the middle. Lah. Okay? I'll give you 5 minutes break. If you need to go drink water, there's some water outside, there's some snacks. If you need to use the toilet, there's a toilet here also. Okay? I give you a 5 minutes break, then after that, then we explain algebra. Can? Okay. Okay. The snacks is this thing. Mhm. 6 then P5 then P4. Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay, so algebra, like I said just now, right, about units, right? Okay. So instead of calling them units, you are now representing them with alphabets. Okay, so basically anything within from A to Z lah. Okay. Okay. And then so okay, now let's say there's no comparison. Okay. Okay, Ali got this amount of money. Bala got something more. Okay. But no comparison was provided. They never say Bala got like $10 more than Ali or $20 or anything like that. So then maybe in P5 you would have done like something like one is units and one is parts, correct? Okay. But now with algebra, you can represent them with alphabets. Let's say this is X, this is Y. Okay. Then I say right now, what is their total in terms of X and Y? Okay. So basically, total means plus, right? So in algebra, when you plus them together, if they are from different terms, okay, different alphabets, then we just put it as X plus Y. Understood? Okay. Basically, like I got this red pen and I got this white pen. Okay. Or maybe this is pencil lah. Okay. Example, this is a pencil, this is a pen. Okay. I cannot say that I have two pencils or I got two pens, correct? They are different. Same thing here, that's why you must leave it as X plus Y. Okay. Now, if I wanna, how much more does Bala have than Ali? There is finding the difference, correct. So the difference will be X minus Y. Or in this case, because you can see that y is more than x, maybe you would think to do y minus x lah. Okay, but in terms of doing it as algebra, it doesn't matter. Unless you already know that confirm one is larger than the other, then you subtract. Okay, or maybe they're asking for how much more does Bala have than Ali. So they're already knowing that in terms of the way they ask, they already know that Bala is more than y minus x. Same thing also, just put the minus sign there. You cannot actually minus. Okay, you leave it as that. So the main thing here is if you got the same term, you can plus them. Different terms like this, x and y, you cannot plus, you cannot subtract. Okay, now another example. Never mind. Okay, just now we have Ali is the x, right? Bala, something more. Is y. Now let's say I have a third person called Charlie. And Charlie is the same amount as Ali. That means he's also X. Now again, if I want to find the total, okay, how many X's do you see there? Two, right? So when you basically are doing X plus X. Okay, so it's like here you are doing X plus X plus Y. Okay, so this and this person, same, right? Same means you can put them together. It's like now I got two pencils here, so two pencils like that. Okay, so 2x, correct. So equals to 2x, but still plus y. Okay, the y don't touch. Okay, and same thing, if I want the difference, let's say they're asking for how much more does Ali and Charlie have than Bala. Okay, so it will be 2x minus y, depending on what they ask for. Okay? Okay, so this is plus and minus. Okay, so in a way, if I say that there's a third person called Candy, Candy have thrice as much as Bala. So what is thrice? 3 times more, right? Okay? 3 times of y. So Candy like got y, y, y. So how many y's are there? Huh? Candy only. 3. So in a way you are doing 3 times of y. So when you multiply with a number, basically multiplication is like you put the number beside it. Okay? So 3 times y become 3y. Okay? Then I have a third person, John have half as much as Candy. So how do I find John? Correct. 3y divided by 2. Okay. So in this case, you will be doing it as a fraction. Divide, you put it as a fraction. Okay. The one on the left is the numerator. The one on the right is the denominator. So it's 3y over 2. Okay. All right. Okay. So when you understand this, right, we can actually look at the first question here. So 7x means okay, actually all the options here are basically is just, or we can work out individually. Okay, so 7x times 5. Okay, so it's like you got 7 or something, or like 7 people in a group. You're multiplying by 5. So how many x will there be? 7. 7 times 5 equals to? What is 35? So this is 35x. Okay, now 5x divided by 7. How do I write the fraction? Correct. And then this is not the same as this one. Okay. Okay. Another thing to take note when you multiply, let's say I miss out this just now. Let's say I got x times y. Okay. So this is just equals to x, y. You're just putting it beside each other. Okay. Okay, so the last one, 7x times 5x. So here what you do is you can multiply the numbers together. So same thing, 7 times 5, 35. You got an x, you got an x. Okay, this is actually not something you need to learn now, but it's just additional info. Probably you'll touch this later on in secondary school. Okay, when in a way right now, x and x, when you put them together, it's called an x squared. This is the same as putting x together. Okay, so you got 2x, you combine them, you put a small 2 on top. Huh? No, actually you don't have to do something like this in primary school, like quite rare lah. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, as in most of the questions that you have to actually work out, you don't have to do this. Okay? Okay, so number 3, okay? Number 3, you have a fraction multiplied by a number here, right? So in a way, remember your fraction multiplication, right? So in a way, this is like over 1. Correct? So equals to? Correct. And this is what they want. That's why the answer is 3. Okay? Okay. So another thing that you learned when you were in P5 was order of operation. Remember that? Okay. What is the first thing that you always do in your order of operation?
Kalau ada operations.
Huh?
Kalau ada operations.
Got the number 1 thing that you must do, the number 2, then the number 3. Number 1 is very easy to forget because it's something new. Okay, but remember you must always do the brackets first.
Bonus.
Bonus. Okay, then number 2? Correct. Multiplication or division. From left to right or right to left? Correct. Then number 3? Correct. Okay, so there are questions where they have to simplify. Like given an expression, you must simplify using this in algebra. Okay, so we do simple plus and minus first. Okay, so let's say I got x plus 5 plus 3x minus 2. Okay, so just like I mentioned, this one and this one cannot do together, right? Cannot plus. Okay, another thing also, if you have any alphabet with a number, they are considered as different term also. Okay, so that means the alphabet and the alphabet, the number and the number. Okay, this one also cannot do anything, this one also cannot do anything, correct? But what you can do, you can shift them around. So you can simplify them. So what I can do is I can shift this and this. Okay, so I can make it into x plus 3x plus 5 minus 2. Okay, so now, what is x plus 3x? 4x. 5 minus 2 plus 3. Okay? And then if I have, let's say 16x divided by 4. Okay? So it's like I got 16 pencils and I want to group them into 4. So each box will have how many pencils? 4. Okay, so you are doing the number in front dividing by 4. Okay, so 16 divided by 4, 4x. Okay,
So division is normally the times minus and plus together.
times can, plus and minus cannot. Okay, times, let's say I got 3x times 4. Okay, so I take the number in front. So it's like I got 3 pencils in each box. Then I got 4 boxes. So 3x, 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 3x. Total will be, no, 3x, 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 3x. Total how many x?
3x.
No, I got 3 here. 3x and 3x plus together become 6. And then plus another 3x. 9. Then plus another 3. Correct. Or in a way, I can just multiply the number in front. 3 times 4, 12x. Okay? So remember, divide, you deal with the number in front. Times also the same. Okay? And then also must go through this for this ordering lah. Okay? So now we can actually try the simplified question. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll go back to question 4 in a while. This one. So your bottomest, right? In a way here, which one will you do first?
2 minus 5.
No. Remember, left to right. The most left, there is something that you can do first. 36 divided by 3, correct. So this one, 36 divided by 3 is? So 20 minus 12p minus 8. Okay, then the other thing that you can do here is this one also. Because that's the second one, right? So what is 5 times 3p plus 15p? Okay? So now is the one where we can shift things around. So how will you shift things around here? What do you think? The minus 12p, I can put beside the plus 15p. Okay, and then the minus 8, I put beside here lah. So become 20 minus 8 plus 15p minus 12p. So equals to, what is 20 minus 8? Then what is 15 minus 12? 20 minus 8 is 12. Then plus 15 minus 12, 3. 3p. So the answer is 12 plus 3p. Okay? Okay, this one, anything you're not sure you want to ask first? No. Okay, good. Okay, now we come to this question. Okay, so the thing is, some of your simple problem sums, you can apply algebra now lah. Okay, so the sum of two consecutive numbers. What is two consecutive numbers? What do they mean by that? Not exactly two different, but yeah, they are different. But how different are they? Not just that. Okay, the meaning like is like, what is consecutive? Okay, consecutive means it's basically just one after the other, like 3 and 4, 8 and 9, 13 and 14. So these numbers that I'm saying, right, they are different by what? One, correct. So it's like, if I have one of the number, the smaller number, the larger number is just additional by 1. Okay? And their total is 9 what? 9y. Correct. I want to find the smaller number. Now, what do you think? Correct. Okay, but must remember the y. Okay? So the thing is, you must minus 1 first, right? So you are doing 9y minus 1 first. Then, after that, you divide by 2. Okay? So the answer is this one. Okay? If you are doing only just 9y minus 1, you still got 2 units. Okay? Plus 1 doesn't make sense lah. Divide by 2, you are just like finding the average of them. So that's why it must be number 4. Okay, now question 10. Question 10, you want to find the value of P. Okay? So, in a way, you need to know what is this for you to find P. You need to know the angle here. Can you see? Okay. I need to find what is the angle here. Now, they give you that the whole thing here is 156. How do I find just this only? Correct. Okay, 156 minus 90 equals to 66 degree. Okay, so 80, I minus P, I get 66 degree. Right? How do I find this P now? Correct. So P is actually equals to 80 minus 66 equals to what? 14, correct. Okay, for this question, right? You don't have to put the units because you see the unit is actually was here. Okay, P is just like a placeholder for some number only. Okay, unless they label the whole thing as P. Okay, like find angle P. Right, then you can put a unit there lah. Okay. Okay, so up to question 10 so far. Any question? Okay, good. Okay, now we go to question 11. I think there's no more algebra stuff, right? The rest are angles and volume. Okay, question 11. They say that the cubic block of wood with a volume of 729 cm cube. What's the meaning of cubic block?
The size of the dots.
Correct. Okay, equal size. Huh? Okay, because it's a cube. Now, she painted all the faces of the block red. Then she cut the block into 1 cm cubes. How many of these cubes have two of the faces painted red? Okay. Okay, firstly, we need to find this one side here. Okay. Now, just now, if it's a square, right? To find one side, we do a square root. And you know it's a cube. Okay, so there's this thing called a cube root. Okay, cube root. Okay, does your calculator have the shift button, right? You press the shift button followed by the square root button. What do you get? Correct. You get a 3 outside. Then you put 729. Then you press equal sign. Correct. Okay, so that's how you do a cube root on your calculator. Okay, but basically cube root is like square root. But cube root is to go opposite of cubing a number. Okay, example like 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Cube root of 8 will be 2. Okay, so this is 9 cm. Okay. Okay, now Ida had a cubic. Wait. So she painted all the faces of the block red. Then she cut the block into 1 cm cubes. How many of these cubes have two of the faces painted red? So now we know that they are 9 cm, 9 cm, 9 cm. That means when you cut into 9 cubes, 9 cubes across the length and across the height also 9 cubes. Okay? Okay, so now They are asking for how many of these cubes have two of the faces painted red. What do you think? Where? Mm-hmm. But not the corner. Correct. Very good. You want to try first? I give you 3 minutes to try to work out the answer. Okay, I give you 3 minutes. So basically, like all the corners, but you avoid and all the sides, but you avoid the corner. Then after that, you multiply by the how many are there. Okay? Okay, what do you get? 84, correct. Okay, so if you subtract the corner, you got 7, right? Then 7, you got 12 sides. Then you multiply by 12. Okay? 9 minus 2, 7. Then 7 times 12, 84. Okay, but because they're only asking for number of cubes, then you don't have to put any units lah for this one. Then for this question, right, when you wrote down the cube root of 729, this is actually one more method. Okay, so remember to also write down because it's easily to forget to write down because you can use calculator, right? But then let's say if you never wrote down this, but if like you are stuck on solving the other parts, right? Then at least you wrote down this, you get the method mark already. Okay. Okay, now we go to question 12. Okay, question 12 is a common inflow and outflow question. Have you seen this kind of question in P5? Okay, very good. Okay. Question 12. You have a tap P that is gonna put in water into the tank. Tap Q that is gonna take out water from tank. So P is your in, Q is your outflow. Okay. Now, they mentioned that it was 2/5 filled with water. Okay, but for part A, they mentioned how much more water. Okay, so in terms of fraction, right, how much more can they fill? If it's already two, huh? 3/5, correct. How do I find this volume for this 3/5? Because they're asking for the water, that means they're asking for the volume. Sorry, what? Divide by 5? 60. But they want volume after that? Correct. Can. Okay. Or you can also just multiply the fraction. Okay. When you do divide by 5 times 2 times 3, right, is the same as doing 3/5 times 60, correct? And then when you multiply by the rest, you are actually doing the calculation of volume already lah. Okay? Okay. Then I'll just explain this question. Question 12, can you try as homework? Okay. Let me explain the part B first. They say tab P and Q will turn on at the same time. That means, but one thing that you need to take note, it was already 2/5 filled. So there's already some initial amount. Okay. Then P and Q will turn on at the same time. Q water flow out at the rate of 780 cm cube per minute. It took 65 minutes to fill the tank completely. How much water was flowing out of P per minute? Okay, now the thing here, okay, initially you got your 2/5 already. Okay, for the remaining 3/5, it took 65 minutes to fill this 65. This 3/5. Okay, but you must take note that every minute there's P going in at 780. At the same time, there is an amount going out from Q. So you need to find every minute actually how much actually increase, which is called the net flow. Have you heard this word before in P5? Okay, net flow basically like the actual amount that is increasing every minute. Okay, because every minute, right? Let's say example, I got 10 ml going in, then I got 3 ml going out. So every minute actually how much increase? 10 minus 3, correct. So net flow is actually the in minus the out equals to 7. Okay. So here, you already know that, tab Q going up at 780. So now we don't know the in, okay, which is the P. We minus the Q, which is 780, gives you the net flow. Okay, how do you get the net flow? Basically, you can take the answer from A, divide by 65. Can you see that? Because it takes 65 minutes to fill the tank completely, right? So to fill that 3/5, it takes 65 minutes. So you just divide. Then you get this answer here already. Then you can go back to get the P. Okay? Okay, I'll go through this next week. You try this question at home. Then next week, we go through 13 and we go through a bit more on volume. Okay? I'll pass you the volume notes next week. All right. If nothing else, good job for you today, first lesson, Sidra. Okay, next week we go through this. Okay, then we can go after volume, then we'll start a new topic. Okay, all right. Thank you for attending and see you next week. Okay, bye bye. Yeah, that one is for you.